Are you writing your roll numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So before I start the new thing, if you have any query of my yesterday's class, you can ask me. You have any problem with my yesterday's class? I have uploaded it.
Ma'am, could you explain the case one again, please?
Of Marshall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, not case one, case two. Sorry.
Okay, case two. Okay, fine. I will explain. Before that, I just want to know from you whether now you are getting the question papers uploaded in college LMS. Are you getting that university question papers, previous question papers?
No, ma'am, we can't access it.
Can't. Okay. And what about the uploading of classes? I have uploaded all my classes in LMS. Is
Yes,
it
ma'am, we can
available there?
access it. Yes, ma'am, it
Okay.
is available there.
But not the question paper, na? Okay, so let me talk again. Okay, you are asking about case number 2. Now look, what I am telling,
Yes.
this is first of all, this is the Marshallian case. Huh? This is the Marshallian stability analysis. So here, first of all, for both the diagram, this is violation of law of demand. Okay, so that is why we are just assuming, say there is violation of law of demand. Huh? So then the demand curve is upward rising like the supply curve, but their slopes are different. Hmm. In the first diagram, demand curve is steeper. In the second diagram, supply curve is steeper. Okay. Now look, this is my equilibrium price. As you know, this is my equilibrium price. Say the price is not at equilibrium. Say the price is here, say P1. Okay. So at P1, what is happening? At P1, given that price P1, you can see that, okay, no, I should not go in this way. Huh? I should not go in this way. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yes. This is the quantity analysis. So first of all, I have to draw a line corresponding to the equilibrium quantity. Okay. So this is the quantity. Fine. Now consider any quantity which is greater than the equilibrium quantity. Say it is here. Fine. Now add this quantity of someone is trying to enter. Deepak, you are late every day. Don't do that, huh? Don't do that. Try to be in time in the class, because this is very easy for you to enter in the class right now because you are in your home. Now look, I have chosen any quantity which is greater than the equilibrium quantity. So quantity is Q1. Now add this quantity, the willingness to pay. The willingness to pay of the consumer is here. This is the maximum price that the consumer can pay for that quantity, and this is the minimum price the suppliers are expecting from the consumer. That means if this price is given to the supplier, they are happy and they will sell it out. Fine. But when this mismatch is there, so consumer can understand that as they are offering more price than the producer is demanding, so that means they have some money in their hand which they can use to consume more, right? So that is why they are increasing their demand. Okay. So this is the change in quantity demanded. They are increasing their demand according to the demand curve. Fine. And what about the supplier? Supplier are watching that I am expecting 10 rupees, say, but consumers are interested to pay 20 rupees. So this is very good for me, so I should increase my supply. So because of this, the supplier is also increasing his supply. So both are going, sorry, both are going in this direction. So what is the implication of this movement? That they are going away from the equilibrium. That means once they are leaving the equilibrium, they cannot come back to that equilibrium again. So we can conclude that the equilibrium is an unstable equilibrium. Is it clear?
Ma'am, this is only the case because there is a violation of demand.
Yes, not only violation of demand, the demand curve is steeper than supply curve.
Yes, but if there was no violation of demand, this would not be true, right?
No, yes, that is also true. But if you just go to the second diagram, there is violation of demand. The second diagram is also the violation of demand, but here you will get the stable equilibrium. Here you will get the stable equilibrium. Look, for any quantity greater than equilibrium quantity, the supplier is thinking that okay, the consumer is not paying what I am expecting, so I should reduce my supply. And consumer is watching that what I am offering, producers are not happy with that. So I should reduce my demand. So supply is falling, demand is falling, and ultimately they are coming back to their equilibrium. So violation of law of demand is not the necessary condition to have unstable equilibrium. You may have equilibrium, or rather we may have stable equilibrium if there is violation of demand. But the very important part is the slope of the curves.
Okay, ma'am.
We cannot say that okay, there is violation of demand, so the equilibrium must be unstable. No, you may have stable. You may have stable equilibrium. It depends on the slopes of the curve. But if there is law of demand and law of supply, then you are very much sure that equilibrium will be a stable one. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Any other query? Any other query from my yesterday's class? I will listen the queries from any part of my discussion after finishing this class. But now I am asking only about the query regarding the yesterday's class. If you have any query, ask. Otherwise, listen. I will finish my discussion today and then I will again come back to your query from wherever we have discussed. Okay? So, no query, na? Okay. Let me go to my third case. This is the Marshallian case. This is the case number 3. Now, what is happening? Again, let me take any quantity. I am just explaining it in terms of quantity greater than equilibrium. You can check it for any quantity less than equilibrium. Thing will be the same. Now, look what is happening here. And one more thing I wanted to say here, that the same diagram, if you can remember, that same diagram of case 2, the first diagram, that was stable in case of Walras, but it is unstable in case of Marshall. And this diagram, that was unstable in Walras, but it is stable in Marshall. So just opposite. If there is violation of law of demand, so you can find just opposite stability or instability in case of Marshall and Walras. Okay. Now here in case 3, what is happening? In the first diagram, again, in the both cases, there is the violation of law of supply. So my supply curve is downward sloping. But again, the slopes are different. In the first diagram, the supply curve is steeper. In the second diagram, the demand curve is steeper. Okay. Now look, in the first diagram, I am taking any quantity greater than the equilibrium quantity. So this is the willingness to pay of the consumer and this is the expected price from the producer. So willingness of the consumer is more than the expected price of the producer. Okay. So producer is also very happy that okay, I should what I am selling, consumer is interested to pay more than my expectation, then I should increase my production and produce. And in that case, a consumer is thinking that what I am offering is not expected by the producer. I'm having something more. I'm offering more. So I should increase my consumption as well. So consumer is moving like this. Consumer is moving like this. And producer is moving like this. So again, the same story, both are moving away from their equilibrium. So we can say that equilibrium is an unstable equilibrium. Now ask me your question from this diagram.
Can you repeat this again?
Yes. Here this is violation of law of supply. So my supply curve is downward sloping, but it is steeper than my demand curve. Now I'm taking any quantity greater than the equilibrium quantity. Now along this quantity line, you can see that willingness to pay of the consumer is here and expected price of the producer is here. So willingness to pay is more than the expectation of the supplier. So when the consumer is watching this, consumer can understand he is offering more than the expectation of the producer. So he has some more money in their pocket which they can spend. So that is why they are increasing their demand first. And what about the consumer? What about the producer? Producer is watching that what is my expectation is something less than what consumer is offering. That means there is a demand of my commodity. Then I should increase the supply. Hmm. So both are encouraged to increase their demand and supply. So they are doing like this. And finally, they are moving away from the equilibrium. So they cannot come back to that equilibrium again. So we can conclude this equilibrium is an unstable equilibrium. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other query?
Ma'am, is it a case of violation of supply only?
Yes, this is violation of law of supply. The supply curve is downward sloping. So it is violation.
Okay.
Any
Ma'am,
other
can you
query?
please repeat why the consumers are demanding more?
Yes, because consumer is watching what I am offering, producer is asking lesser than that. So that means I have some money in my hand which I can spend to consume more. Okay. If you have 100 rupees in your pocket, you are going to the market and you can see certain you have some expectation that okay, I will purchase 10 units of the commodity so that I have to spend 100 rupees there. But when you are going there, you are watching the price of that commodity has decreased to 5, which your according to your expectation, it will be 10, but actually it is 5. So you can see that, okay, the price is falling. So that means I have some money after purchasing 10 units of the commodity. I will have some money in my purse, which I can spend to consume more of that commodity. So I will purchase more. Right. So that is what the consumer is doing here. So consumer is demanding more in this way. So that is why their demand is going like this. Is it okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Acha. Any other query?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, just a thought, ma'am. Like you said, the consumer has some extra money for which he can demand more of the commodity.
Hmm.
Ma'am, if he uh, wishes to buy some related goods,
Yes. That option is always there. That option is always there, but we are just assuming there is no such option.
o- okay, ma'am.
Economics is always depending on sometimes on some absurd options. So we are just concentrating on that particular commodity. Say there is nothing else. So everything is happening here.
Okay, ma'am. So here we are assuming that is not happening.
No, no, no. Here we are only considering the change in quantity and change in price. So that means all other things are assuming to be constant. Otherwise, we have to shift the demand curve. These options are not there, na? So that means all other things are constant.
Okay, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
After 3 years, after 3 years, you will be bored by listening that phrase, that word, assumption. I'm going to assume that. These are the assumptions behind the theory. So there is a lot of assumption behind the theory. And as we are going to discuss only the theoretical portion mostly, so a lot of assumptions are there. And these assumptions are taking you away from the reality. But when you can understand the theory, then after you will relax those assumptions and you can go back to your reality and you can try to match that theory with your reality so that you can understand where is the difference, the why reality is different. So this is how economics is dealing.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other question? Acha. So again, I am telling you again, this diagram is the stable diagram in case of wall rush. If you can go back to your wall rush, where it is, yes, same diagram. I am using the same diagram. So in that case, the first diagram in case of wall rush, it was the stable, but it is unstable in case of Marshall, just like case 2. And if you go to the second diagram of case 3, yes. Second diagram of case 3, you can see this is the situation. The the offer price of the consumer is less than the expected price of the seller, right? So sellers are watching that consumers cannot pay as according to my expectations, so I should reduce my supply. And consumer is also thinking like this, that okay, what I am offering, it is not sufficient for the producer. So I should reduce my supply. Okay, and consumer is also thinking that okay, what I am paying is not sufficient for the producer, then I should reduce my demand. So this is how both of them are going like this, and ultimately they will reach to their equilibrium again. So that equilibrium, that diagram is giving you a stable equilibrium. Okay? So very similar to the wall rush, but actually just opposite to the wall rush. Okay, so this is case 3.
Ma'am, can you repeat this once again?
Yes. If the quantity is greater than equilibrium quantity, just like before, so here the expected price of the supplier is more than the offer price of the consumer. Okay. So supplier is watching that what I am expecting, consumer cannot consume, consumer is not interested to pay that much. So I should reduce my supply. And the consumer is watching that what I am offering, this is not sufficient for the producer. So I'm offering something less. So I don't have that capacity. I am not interested to give that much of money to the producer, etc., etc. So in that case, I should reduce my demand. So supply is falling, demand is falling, and finally they are coming back to their equilibrium. So this is how the equilibrium is a stable equilibrium.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
আর কেউ কিছু জিজ্ঞাসা করবে? Any other question from anyone else? Okay, so let me go to case 4. Look, this is violation of law of demand, law of supply, just opposite. The demand curve is upward rising, supply curve is downward sloping. So it is just opposite of the normal diagram. So you can see here what will happen. Yes. If the quantity, again, don't consider it in terms of price. Your quantity is the independent variable here. So if you take any quantity greater than the equilibrium quantity, you can see the offer price of the consumer is greater than the expected price of the producer. So again, consumer is watching that I am offering more, so that means I can purchase more. So he is moving like this, and the producer is also watching that according to my, based on my expectation, consumer is paying more, so I should produce more because there is a demand for my commodity. So he is going like this. So this is an unstable equilibrium. So there is no problem with this type of diagram where there is a violation of law of demand and law of supply. Whether it is Walras, whether it is Marshall, it is always unstable. Case 4, in case of Marshall, it was unstable. This is unstable. And here also it is unstable. So this is unstable always. But the problem is coming for case 2 and case 3. Which one is stable in Walras is unstable in Marshall. So that is the difference. This is how you can remember and compare Walras and Marshall. So these are the stability part which is in our syllabus, and I have done that discussion. Any query from this section? Then I will go to my question answer part.
Ma'am, what is the reference book for the stability part? Because we can't find it in Chiang.
Manku, I said it. In Manku, it is not there,
Man,
right? Yes. But I informed that Kurswanis is you can follow it. But one of your friends, he has
yes,
sent
ma'am.
me.
We can't find it the Marshallian approach. We can find it the Walrasian also in the in this book, but we can't find the Marshallian.
Okay. So let me search. I have a lot of book in my house. So if I can find the portion, I will just make a scan, because I cannot give you the total book. I can scan that portion and I will upload it in LMS. Once I can find it in my book, then I will give it.
Okay, ma'am.
Actually,
Thank
each and every year I am discussing it in the class now, so that is how I am doing here. But you should have some book reference. So let me search it and then I will upload it in LMS. Acha, any other question?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in the syllabus there was another part, existence, stability, and uniqueness. Is it all the same?
Yes. Stability we have analyzed. The existence means the derivation of the equilibrium. We did that. Stability we have done. And regarding the uniqueness, okay, for uniqueness, we need another diagram. It's actually a very simple diagram. It's like this. You may not have the normal demand supply curve. You may have this type of demand curve. Okay. And you may have any, because there is no guarantee that supply curve will be always straight line or curve like this. So you may have more than one equilibrium point. Quite, actually it's very rare in that sense. It's very rare. It's very rare, but you may have. Once you have it, that means there are more equilibrium points. But in that
Okay, ma'am.
case, what you have to check whether those equilibriums are stable or not. The stability is very important because no one is interested to go for an unstable situation. So you may have more than one equilibrium, but in that case, all equilibrium points may not be stable. So this is the uniqueness portion, whether you are getting a single equilibrium or not.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is your demand curve. And say violation of supply is there, and this is your supply curve. So look, there are two equilibrium points. One is here, one is here. Right. So then you have to check whether this equilibrium is stable or not, this equilibrium is stable or not, like this. In reality, you may get different shapes of your demand or supply curves. Reality is not so simple actually.
Yes, ma'am.
So anything else? Hopefully I have finished my unit 2 now. Anything else? Any other heading I left? No. Hopefully no. In that case, this is my planning that today I will discuss the questions from this unit, and then after, from tomorrow, I will start unit 3 because I have 4 more units to complete. 3, 4, 5. Yes, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, there are 4 more units. Actually, I'm running. Look at this question. Actually, as I said, I have some books. I have some books in my home, so I am taking just the snapshot of those exercises, and I'm trying to show it so that you can practice it. You can understand which type of questions are coming from there, like this. Yes, look. I think it is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Now look, the first question, what are export subsidy? Oh, don't go for it. Huh? Export subsidy, you don't know the subsidy part. Show that export subsidy. Let me actually, what happened, all the books are not following our syllabus, so they're just clubbing more informations in a single chapter, so questions are coming accordingly. We have to find out the related portion. Acha. Look at this question number 40. Consider the market for video cassette recorder. Okay, consider the market for video cassette recorder. How will each of the following changes affect the demand and supply? It's a video cassette. Okay, consumer income increases dramatically. Tell me how it will influence the video cassette market.
Ma'am, there will be an increase in demand.
Exactly.
So the demand curve shifts rightward.
Exactly. Your demand curve will shift to the right. So your equilibrium price will increase, your equilibrium quantity will increase. So this is the first case. So in that case, how to give the answer? First of all, you have to draw. You have to show the direction again. Yeah. If you are going to draw like this, say in that case, what you will do, you will draw the demand curve like this. And this is your supply curve. The next demand curve will be like this because this is increase in demand. And don't forget to mention in the diagram also. You will write, definitely, you will explain it. But when you are going to draw it, don't mention this arrow. Don't forget to mention this arrow. You have to write, you have to draw this arrow, okay, which will show clearly the movement of your curves. Okay. So this is what the case 1, and then you have to write. Say D1 is the initial demand curve, S1 is the initial supply curve, the equilibrium is E1, and due to increase in demand, the demand has increased. So the demand curve is shifting to the right, and now the new demand curve is D2, the equilibrium is E2, and then you have to show the change in price and quantity. Initially, the price was P1, now the equilibrium price is P2, so the price is increasing, and the same thing for equilibrium quantity. Okay, that much is needed to give that answer. Now look at question number, the next part. Penalties on the recording of the copyrighted materials are imposed and enforced.
Supply curve shifted to leftward.
Supply shifts.
Supply shifts to left. Yes, because now you can understand the piracy. Actually, they are trying to control the piracy. So the pirated portion of the market, they are leaving that market. So the supply curve, the number of suppliers in the market will fall. So the supply curve will shift to the left. Okay, because this is the market where it is not mentioned that they are all original suppliers. There are some pirated suppliers as well. So they are now leaving the market. Now the next part, movie theaters reduce their prices.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
demand will
demand
shift to
will
the
fall.
left.
Demand will fall, exactly, because movie is the substitute of the video cassette. That you have to mention. Movie and video cassette, they are substitute to each other. So when price of movie theater is falling, demand of movie theater is increasing. So demand for video cassette is falling. The demand curve is shifting to the left. Okay. And when you are going to give the answer for question number A, a diagram. Question number B, another diagram. Question number C, another diagram. And don't try to draw everything in a single diagram. Nothing will be visible in that case. Total clumsy will come.
Ma'am, I have a question on part B.
Yes.
If we are comparing the market, the market is for only original video cassette recorders, and when the penalties on the recording of copyrighted materials are
In that case, the supply will increase.
then the demand will increase because we can't buy it from the copyrighted materials, and we have materials, so the demand will increase. Then the price.
Yes. Yes. Very good point. Very good point. So here comes your idea. When you are trying to mention, as I am saying, this is the video cassette market where the supply is coming from the original seller as well as from the pirated seller, then my answer is something. And what he is saying, that as it is assuming that the market is the original market and the pirated portion is going back, then the demand for the original video player will increase. That is also true. That is also true. I am right. You are also right. But the explanation should be proper. Okay. If you give your explanation properly, then definitely you will get full marks. Huh? Look, the answer is quite different. The answer is quite different. I am saying that I am reducing the supply. The price will increase, quantity supply will fall. And what he is saying, the demand is increasing. The price is increasing and quantity will also increase. So the answer will be, the conclusion will be quite different. But everything is possible, okay? My side is also true, your side is also true. Nothing is wrong. If you explain it properly, it will be accepted. Okay. And if someone is very confused and he is trying to be a very rational, so he can give both. Once your marks permit you. If the marks is 2 marks, then don't go for all those options. Choose any one of them and write it properly, logically. But if marks is lot, say 5 marks is theirs, then you can give a lot of options. But for everything, I just want to mention again and again, give it logically. Your logic should be correct. It is not like that my friend is doing that, I am watching that diagram and just I'm drawing it, copying it from him. It's not like that. If your logic is proper, if your logic is original, you will get full marks. Now look at the next part. An improvement in technology dramatically reduces the production cost. It's very simple. The supply will increase, na?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Supply curve shifts to rightward.
Yes. The supply curve will shift to the right. The next one, the price of recording tape increases.
Demand
Ma'am,
falls
supply will
because
fall.
these are complementary products.
Yes, ma'am.
Recording tape. Acha.
Ma'am, supply will fall.
Yes, I
Ma'am, if
am.
we consider recording tape as a raw material for this,
Yes, I am
then
also
supply.
thinking like this. Recording tape is actually the raw material. In your video cassette, there is a tape inside that cassette. So this is actually the input of the video cassette making. So this is an effect of increase in cost of production. So the supply should fall. It's
And
not
can you
that,
repeat it once? I can't
yes,
understand.
that recording tape is actually a material which is used to produce video cassette. Okay, so it is an input. So when price of an input is increasing, your supply should fall. So your supply curve will shift to the left. Your supply curve will shift to the left. Just like an increase in price of my input.
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Hmm. Now look at the last part. It is rumored that the price of VCRs will rise sharply next year.
Ma'am, demand will
Demand
increase.
rises, demand.
Very good.
Ma'am, ma'am, demand will increase and supply will fall.
Supply fall কেন করবে?
কারণ ম্যাম পরের বছর যদি প্রাইস বেড়ে যায় তো মানে পরের বছর সেল করলে ওদের প্রফিট বেশি হবে।
Yes, yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes. Right. You are right. So in that case, both will happen. Here comes another confusion. Okay, yeah, not the confusion. Here comes more option. Here comes the demand will increase. Today the demand will increase and supply will fall. So if demand will increase and supply is falling, you have to check. I cannot draw it. Let me try. The demand is increasing. Where is my pen? I cannot find my pen. Yes. And supply is falling. Na? So supply is falling. Yes. There will be three options. Huh? The price will definitely, this is my initial price and this is my final price. Okay, these are the axes. And we are not certain about the quantity. Here by chance equilibrium quantity is same, but it is depending on the extent of shifting of my demand and supply curve. If supply is increasing more than fall in demand, or if supply is increasing less than falling demand, the effect on equilibrium quantity will be quite different. So you have to give three options.
ইয়েস
You have
ম্যাম
to
দেয়ার
give
উইল বি মানে 3টে কেস আসবে তাহলে।
yeah, তিনটে case. There will be three diagrams. The first one is like this.
Three diagrams for one question,
Like
like
this.
what
Ma'am,
was
we
the
have to do
mark
all the
given?
three diagrams for one question.
Yes. And don't worry, you can understand the marks will be also larger there. More marks you will get there. Full marks will be more. Look, this is the second. And what about the third? This is the shifting in the demand curve. And say supply is falling not so significantly. So this is the price. We are very much sure about the price in that case. But look at the quantity. So here quantity, here the quantity is moving like this. What is the key? Anyway, you can understand. In the first diagram, your equilibrium quantity is unchanged. In the second diagram, your equilibrium quantity is falling. And in the third diagram, equilibrium quantity is increasing. But we are very much sure about the price change.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes.
Ma'am, for this expectation of future prices, can we say that the supplier will continue supplying whatever he supplies at the current price, and when price increases, he will increase his supply? Because, ma'am, if he reduces his supply now, then all the resources won't be used optimally. Then he is not an efficient producer in that case.
No, not in that sense. He is producing. He is producing and keeping that extra amount as an inventory. Okay, he is making a stock.
Okay, so
Because
he is producing, but he is not supplying.
yes, because if it is not a rational decision that tomorrow I will increase my production because production cost may also increase.
There's no
Yes,
hoarding
ma'am.
will
Yes.
increase in this case.
Yes.
I said hoarding will increase in this case. Like
Yes,
he
yes. That is what I'm saying. This is called the inventory stock. Huh? So they are just making stock. Given the situation, he is producing according to his capacity. He is producing to its full extent, but he is not selling. He is not coming with all his products. Okay. I think this is clear. Now look at question number 41. This is very simple. Prices and quantities are given. You have to draw the demand curve and supply curve. It's a very school level question. Now look at the second part. At the price 60. At the price 60. Where is my... Yes. At a price 60 per box. কি এটা জিনিসটা কি? The table given below demand and supply schedule for oranges. The quantity is measured in boxes of 48 oranges each. Acha. In each box you have 48 oranges. At the price of 60 per box, does a surplus or shortage exist? You can see it very well. Demand is 25, supply is 125. So it's an excess supply of 100 units. What is the magnitude of this equilibrium condition? It's a case of surplus. If the government control the price, okay, again the government control is coming. This part we have not discussed yet, so forget it. Price tax facts we have not discussed. Look at the second. If the next question, for question number 42, if the equation of the market demand curve is this, and the equation of the market supply curve is this, find the market equilibrium. Can you do this? The demand equation is
Yes,
given.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
because it's the equilibrium, so all of you know demand is equal to supply. So that means QD is equal to QS. That means 10 minus 4P is equal to 4P. From there you have to find your P. So that P is the P star, and put that P star in either QD or QS. You will get Q star. Is it clear? Qt is equal to Qs at equilibrium. So 10 minus 4p is equal to 4p. From there you will get P star. Put that P star in either Qd or Qs, you will get Q star.
P star 5 by 4 and Q star probably 5.
Okay, fine. Whatever is coming is your P star and Q star. Okay, this is how you will get this answer. Achha. From January 1979 through January 1980, okay, 1 year, the price of gold nearly doubled. Yet, as the price of gold rose, sales of gold increased as well. Does this imply that demand for gold is upward? Very good. Look at the question and give me the answer. It's a very interesting question. From January 79 to January 80, the price of gold nearly doubled. Okay. Yet the price of gold rose, the sales of gold increased as well. Does this imply the demand for gold is upward rising? Why or
yes,
why
ma'am.
not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, because
Yes,
it is the violation of law of demand.
yes, violation of
No,
law of demand.
no.
Ma'am, demand should be
Yes.
downward sloping always.
No, not necessarily. It may be upward rising.
Ma'am, gold is a gifting good, that's why.
No, gold is not given good. Think it some other way. Consider, think with respect to demand supply interaction. Huh?
Ma'am, if price should increase, then the demand should fall. The price of gold is increasing.
They are talking about the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Remember, it's not a single price and quantity.
Okay, ma'am.
Now give me. This is a hint. Huh? I'm giving you a hint. Now give me the answer.
Ma'am, due to technological advancement or something, the supply is also increasing. That is why the
Supply
price
is
is.
increasing. Yes, that is the reason. Supply is increasing. Demand, price is increasing. No, look at this condition. Look at this condition. Look at this condition. Demand is increasing. Supply is falling. Okay, fine. It may be possible that supply is falling because price is increasing. So supply is falling, but the demand is increasing to that an extent that price is increasing, the quantity. Look at this diagram. Na? Apparently, it's what? Price is increasing, quantity is also increasing. So it is the violation. Is it the violation of law of demand? No. Look at this diagram. But what you can conclude? That equilibrium price is increasing and equilibrium quantity is also increasing. The question is it the violation of law of demand? No, my
No,
demand
ma'am.
comes
No, ma'am.
downward moving. So if this thing is happening in the gold market, you may have this situation. The price of gold is increasing and the sales of gold is also increasing. Right?
Ma'am, so the sale of gold is means it's the supply curve for gold is shifting more than the demand curve.
No, no, no. Supply is falling less than increase in demand. According to my
Yes,
diagram, according to this
yes,
diagram,
yes, yes,
supply
yes,
is falling, demand is increasing, but demand is increasing more than falling supply.
yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, but if the price is rising, the supply will increase the supply rather than
Yes,
decreasing.
yes, this is what happening here also. Price is increasing, quantity is also. They are not saying that quantity supply is increasing like that. Look at this. Sales of the gold increase. Sales, yes, the equilibrium quantity is increased. The sale is increasing, na?
So, ma'am, we'll have two cases when supply will be greater than demand and when supply will be less than demand. When the shift in supply will be less than demand. We'll
Yeah,
have two cases.
yeah. But in that
Okay,
case,
thank you,
supply
ma'am.
will increase and demand will fall. That also be the situation. But in this
And
diagram, be
basically,
true.
we first of all consider only the demand part. Then we told that then the demand violation of demand it is
There is
happening.
no
But
violation. There is no violation.
yeah, I understand. When we consider the supply side also, then we understood that.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Here you have
Ma'am,
to consider everything with respect to equilibrium. Hmm. Yes,
ma'am, please repeat this part once more.
I'm saying that look at this diagram. Look at my third diagram. In the third diagram, price is increasing, quantity sold is also increasing. So this may be the case in the gold market. The price doubled. Yes, price doubled, but the
Yes,
sale
ma'am.
has increased. So it may possible that in the gold market for this 1 year, the demand has increased significantly as compared to the fall in supply, so that ultimately the price is increasing and sales of the gold is also increasing.
Okay, ma'am. So uh, the sales of gold increased means the equilibrium quantity has
Mm.
increased.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Okay, so it is not according to your previous concept about the movement along the demand curve or shifting of the demand curve. Okay, it is the equilibrium now. They are not telling that demand is changing, supply is changing. They are change. They are calling sale. That means the equilibrium.
Ma'am, is it the only case or can there be more
You
cases?
can check it. You can check it. You can check it. There may be some other case. Supply. If let me think. If supply is increasing, if supply is increasing, yes, that may also possible that supply is increasing, demand is increasing. No, 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 just a minute. Supply is increasing and demand is falling. No, price will fall. I think this is the only case. Right now, I cannot remember, I cannot find out any other option. But you can check it. You can check it. Draw several diagrams in your home and find if there is any other option. Increase in demand, decrease in supply, extent will change. Check it.
Okay, ma'am.
But for this question, 4 or 5 marks will be there. So one diagram and the proper explanation is fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Acha, I think this question is clear to you. Now 44. True false. When you are giving to answer this true false type of thing, na, check whether uncertain option is also there. If uncertain option is not there, then you have to conclude either true or false. Uncertainty is not allowed. Okay. So here it is also true and false. Either true or false. An increase in demand and a decrease in supply will always result in a higher equilibrium price. And okay, very good. This diagram I have done. Oh, what a diagram I did. Look, the same thing they're asking. An increase in demand and a decrease in supply will always result in a higher equilibrium price and a lower equilibrium quantity.
Ma'am, false.
False. These three options are there. These three. This is the same diagram. The same diagram I did. Okay. Because we are not certain about the quantity. Price will increase, but quantity we are not certain.
The quantity may same, so because if the
May
changes of the
same,
demand.
may fall, may increase. Three options are there. So you have to draw these three diagrams and your conclusion is
Okay.
the statement is false. Okay. Now look at this part. Ceteris paribus means all other things are constant. Okay. If the government supports, okay, government support we should not discuss right now. An increase in price of milk coats will cause quantity demanded to fall. Oh no, that should be the question. Aha, it's a continuation of some other question. No, that mink coat means it's something related. Anyway, there may be some mismatch. Look at this question. Is it properly visible? Clearly visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So check it. Demand is a word of common usage. What is the meaning of demand in economics? How the demand different from desire, want or need? You know all this. Demand means it is the desire to have a commodity backed by your purchasing power. So this is the demand in economics. Now define market demand. What are the determinants of market demand in the short run and in the long run? How do increase in consumers' income and price of the substitute goods? So these are the questions very much common. What I just want to find out some application oriented question.
Ma'am,
Yes.
determinants of market demand in long run, ma'am, what will be the answer to that?
A long run market demand, it may be the expectation. Expectation may work. Expectation may be the determinant of market demand, because if you are expecting that in a sudden time you may not change your demand. Okay. You need some time to change your demand. If you are thinking that after 3 years the price of petrol will increase, then from today you are going to search the alternative of the petrol car. So this is how the expectation is influencing your demand in the long run. But in the short run, say you can understand that the price of petrol is going to be double. It is not possible for you to find the alternative of that petrol car by tomorrow. You need some time. So that is how
Okay.
you can say that expectation is something which is influencing your demand in long
Okay,
run.
ma'am.
Will taste and preferences be a determinant of demand in the long run?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay, ma'am.
Define law of demand. Explain demand schedule, demand curve, demand function. Should question. From the demand function, show that total expenditure on the commodity remains unchanged if price falls. Yes, this is also true. Q is equal to 600 by P. So P into Q is 600. Na? So P into Q is your total expenditure for the commodity. So it is the constant 600. Estimate elasticity. explain the law of supply through a supply schedule or a supply curve. How does a supply curve slopes upward to the right? Because of the law of supply. What factors cause a rightward shift of the supply curve? All of you know. Explain why market equilibrium is determined at the intersection of that means equilibrium. How is market equilibrium affected? When consumers' income change, all other factors remaining same. So this is also very clear. Uh, just a minute. Yes. Look, the sales data of a book publishing company produces a demand function. একটা কিছু দেওয়া আছে. From the demand function, find out the demand schedule. Okay, what is demand schedule? Demand schedule means it's a table where if the price is P, then quantity is 5,000. If price is 1, then quantity is 5,000 minus 50. If P is 2, then quantity is 5,000 minus 100. So this is how you can make a table. Okay, that is called demand schedule. So you can do it for P is equal to 0 to 5 or P is equal to 0 to 10. Okay, it depends on you. So this is called demand schedule, and demand curve, all of you know, just graphical representation of this demand function. Okay, so demand schedule, is it clear? The demand schedule, what is demand schedule?
Yes, ma'am.
Demand schedule means just a table format. If price is this, then what is quantity? Price is changed to this, then what is quantity? Like this. Okay? So in the first column, you can write P. In the second column, you can write Q. You have the functional form, that is Q is equal to 500 minus 50P. So just put the value P and find the corresponding Q. This is how you can do the chart. Okay, P is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and accordingly the Q. This is demand schedule. Demand function is that mathematical form, and demand curve is the diagrammatic form. Okay. Number the books sold at the price 25. So you have to put P is equal to 25 here. Then you can find the Q, and that will be the answer.
3750.
Okay. Question number C, price of selling 2500 copies. So here you have to put Q is equal to 2500 and the corresponding P. It will be 2500 divided by 50.
50.
So 50, yes. So 50 will be the price. Price for 0 sales. That means when Q is equal to 0, then what will be the price? It will be 100. And sales at 0 price. That means if P is equal to 0, then Q is equal to 5,000.
Ma'am, but it is illogical that when there is no sale, still price
The
is
price is
there.
there, yes, quite illogical. No sales, but price is there. That means there is a fixed price. Okay. They are thinking. What is our problem? What is meant by equilibrium price and quantity? What factors cause an upward right and upward left shift of the equilibrium point from its original position? Okay, upward right and upward left equilibrium. That means if you are increasing demand, if you are decreasing demand, you can shift your equilibrium point. Okay, from the demand function and the supply function, find out the equilibrium price. We have already discussed how to get it. QD is equal to QS. Put those values and you will get the P star. From there, put that P star in QS or QD. You will get Q star. Okay. Now, gap between demand and supply at P is equal to 20 and P is equal to 50. So here you have to put P is equal to 20 here. You will get 1 QD. P is equal to 20 here, you will get 1 QS. So that QD minus QS is the gap between demand and supply at P is equal to 20. And same thing for P is equal to 50. I hope in one case it will be excess demand and in another case it will be excess supply. I'm not sure. But generally this is happening. You get my point. I'm a bit fast here. If you have any query, just stop me and ask.
Ma'am,
Yes, ask.
ma'am, in question number 11, what factors cause an upward right and upward left shifts of the equilibrium point? Here, upward right means an increase and upward
Increase
left
in
means
demand. The first one is increase in demand. Look, if there is an increase in demand, then demand curve will shift to the just a minute, upward right. Yes. Okay, let me draw you. It will be clear. This is your demand curve. This is your supply curve. Your equilibrium should shift upward right. So very fine. Your demand has increased. It's an upward right shifting. Is it clear?
yes, ma'am.
And upward left. For upward left, this is your initial. Okay, let me draw another. This is your demand curve. This is your supply curve. Your supply falls. So it's an upward left.
Okay, ma'am. So one one example is enough.
No. They're asking what factors. So you can give more than one factor.
Okay, ma'am. For increase in demand and fall in
Uh-huh.
supply.
Ma'am, we
Say
can't
there
give
is an increase. Yes. Huh?
if like excess increase in demand, a small little increase in supply, and more
Yes.
increase
Now,
in
say my
supply.
income has increased. Say price of substitute is increased. So these are
No,
the
ma'am.
different reasons behind the
I'm saying
increase.
like what if both increase or both decrease? Like we were doing in the previous question where supply demand increase a lot and supply increase the left. Then also there will be a rightward increase of the equilibrium prices.
Mhm. That also you
We
can
can give
use.
that also.
You can use that, or for simplicity, you just shift any of the curves.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, for the 11 part C, should, sorry, 12 part C, should we comment about the shortage or the surplus?
Yes,
Because,
definitely. If
oh,
QD is greater than QS, you must mention it is the case of excess demand.
yes, ma'am. First of all, it's a when P equals to 20, it is the case of shortage, which is excess demand, and the P equals to 50, it's a case of surplus.
That is what I said. No? Generally, this is coming
Yes,
because the
ma'am. Mhm.
equilibrium price may be 30 or 25. I'm not sure. In between 20 and 50. Equilibrium price is in between 20 and 50.
40, ma'am.
Yes. Uh, okay, so I'm going to question number 13. From a price function given as P and supply function given as P, find out whether there is excess demand or excess supply at price 2 and 5. So it's very easy. The same as of last part of question number 12. If P is equal to 2, put that value in the demand and supply function and then find out the Q. You can get whether it is excess demand or supply, and same for P is equal to 5. And after getting all those problems, you have to go to the question number B, that is the equilibrium quantity. The quantity or excess demand or excess supply in that prices. So again, you have to find out the quantity corresponding to that excess demand supply. Yeah? If P is equal to 2, then what about the quantity demand and quantity supply? If P is equal to 5, then what is the value of QD and QS? This is the answer of question number B, 13. Look, as I am going to share this thing in college LMS. You will get that question because I am just going through the answers. No, I'm not writing, but it's your duty to write the answer. So once you will get those questions from your college LMS through that video lecture, you just take a snapshot or like this and then try to write, because that writing practice is very important. There is no substitute, there is no alternative of writing. Okay, so try to write it, then your writing skill will be improved. How to give the answer, how to arrange your answer, all of you know the correct answer, because apparently these questions are very simple. But after submitting your answer script, you will find someone is getting 5 and someone is getting 10. But the answer is correct in every way. So where is the difference? The difference is coming from your arrangement, the presentation. These are making the difference. Okay. So for that, you have to improve your writing skill. Huh? So we will get the questions, write the answer in your home. And after writing it, read it out loudly. If you need, actually, I am doing this. After writing this, anything, I'm just reading it loudly and I'm trying to listen it, whether it is good or not. If something is coming, no, it's not so good to listen, then make a correction. This is how you can improve your writing. Okay, this is my suggestion. You can follow it to have a good score. Just make a try. Question number 14. Which of the following statements are true or false? The first one is the demand for a commodity is inversely related to the price of its substitute. Okay, let me check.
False.
Price is increasing, demand is falling. Then demand, yes, this is false. They should go to the same direction. So it's a false. And after writing the statement is false, you have to explain, as I am saying. Say the price of the substitute is increasing, then demand of that substitute commodity is falling. That means the demand of this particular commodity should increase as they are substitute to each other. But the statement is saying the demand is falling. So that means they are not inversely related, they should be directly related. So the statement is false. Second, B. When income increases, the demand for essential good increases more than proportionately. No, don't try to give the answer right now because it is related with the elasticity. Okay, don't go for it. Question number C. Decrease in input prices causes a leftward shift of the supply curve. Right. This is a true sentence. Input price increase means the price of raw materials has increased, so I should reduce the supply. So my supply
Ma'am,
curve
here
should.
it is
Ma'am,
decreasing.
decrease in input prices is written.
Decrease. Sorry, decrease. So that means it should be shift to the right.
So the
Statement is.
sentence is false.
There cannot be a market without a place. Statement is false.
False.
Invisible market is also there, like the stock market or the share market. The desire for a commodity backed by the ability and willingness to pay is demand. Yes, it's true, na? True though.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Question number F. Law of demand states the relationship between the quantity demand and price of a commodity, consumers' income, price of related goods, advertisement of a commodity.
False.
This is correct.
False.
False.
All other factors are coming. Okay. An individual demand curve marks an upper limit of his or her intention to buy a commodity at different price. কি হবে? True or false?
True.
True.
True, exactly.
True.
You cannot go beyond your demand curve. A demand curve represents the maximum quantity that an individual would be willing to buy at different prices.
False.
Why false?
False.
It is the summation of all individuals.
Yes. It is false if in the market there is more than one individual. If it is a monopsony, then it is true. Market demand curve is equivalent to the individual demand curve. But
Ma'am, but the
otherwise,
answer here it is given H is true.
Yes, ma'am. Answer is
H is true. সেটাও দেওয়া আছে নাকি?
Ma'am,
Oh,
just
yes.
beneath.
didn't tell.
And market demand curve represents the maximum quantity that an individual would be willing to buy. And yes, this is true actually. This is true. Because okay, look, in a market there may be more than one individual. Let's say there are 10 individuals. So market demand curve is just the horizontal summation of those individual demand curve, right? But for a single individual, any of those 10 individual, he cannot go beyond that market demand curve, right? His demand curve must be within this market demand curve, below the market demand curve, or at least on the market demand curve. So this market demand curve is also giving a, what can I say? It's a limit, okay? It's a fence sort of thing. You cannot go beyond that fence. So this is true. For an individual, this is the maximum. You cannot go beyond that market demand curve. Okay.
Ma'am, please repeat it once more.
Yes. Market demand curve is the summation of the individual demand curves. That part is correct, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if for the individual is a part of that market. So that individual cannot go beyond that market demand curve.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is
Hmm.
what written here. That market demand curve represents the maximum quantity that an individual would be willing to buy at different prices. You cannot go beyond that.
Okay, it is the boundary, I can say.
Yes. It is the boundary. Exactly. It is the boundary. You cannot go. You are part of this. So you cannot go beyond that. If there is no trade. Again.
Okay, ma'am.
Uh, that income effect on demand for an inferior good, hey, don't go for it. Don't go for I, huh? You don't know. H. Demand for car and price of petrol are inversely related. What do you think?
True, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
False.
False.
They're complement good.
Yes, they're complementary. So if price is falling, then price of petrol is falling, demand for petrol will increase, and demand for car should also increase. So they are positively related actually. Most demand functions are of the form D is equal to A plus BP. কি হবে? And now, don't tell me this is false because the answers are given already. But explain. It is a false. But why?
Ma'am,
Yes,
minus
ma'am,
A.
false.
Ma'am, because they
Ma'am,
are
slope is negative.
inversely related.
Yes, they are inversely related. There is law of demand. If there is law of demand, B and P, they should be inversely related. That means there should be A minus BP. If B is positive, then a positive must be negative. That positive sign must be replaced by the negative sign, minus sign. Acha. A straight line supply function is in the form of P is equal to Q into Q divided by B. Yes, why not? I think it's true, Dana. Yes, it's true. Because the straight line, na? The straight line means the slope is constant. The slope, what is P? P is equal to Q divided by B. So dP is equal to dQ by B. So dP dQ is 1 by B. That means a constant. It's a straight line equation. Okay. Look at the next question. Which of the following conditions makes an approximate definition of market? Market is a meeting place for buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers meet to transact business. The buyers and sellers must transact business by or without meeting in a place.
Number
C.
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 Option C.
Only C.
C. Yes, C. 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 You may not meet, but you can make the transaction. Achha. Next question. Suppose characters of three persons A, B, C are given as follows. A wants to buy a book on microeconomics but has no money to pay for it. Very good. B has sufficient money to buy the book but prefers to borrow books from the library. Oh, the typical student. And C has money and is willing to spend the money on a book on microeconomics. Who creates demand for book on microeconomics?
Ma'am,
C.
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 Yes.
C.
See, he has the money and he is also trying to get the book.
Ma'am, what about libraries? Don't they want book too?
That is what I said. The students of the typical students, they are doing this. They are not interested to purchase the book. The first option, they are going to the library and asking them to give the book and make a photocopy, and they are very happy. If somehow they are not getting the book, then they are going to the teachers and asking, ma'am, do you have the book? Then please give me the book. I will make a photocopy and I'm going to give it to you back. So this is how they're managing the money, and with that money, all of you know what you are doing with that money. So and this is the thing. But in the library, yes, our library is giving the book with a condition. There are some books which are actually rare or a single copy is there. So these books you cannot take in your home. You can read it there, make a note and give it back. There are some books which you can get it and take it in your home for a fixed time. Within that time, we have to give it back. Otherwise, you have to give some penalty. And ma'am is asking, why you are not giving the book? You have to give the book within the time. It's like that. So that is another penalty. Anyway, question number 17. An individual demand curve slopes downward to the right because of income effect to fall. Ore baba. No.
Diminishing marginal utility. Option C.
No, you know marginal utility, so you are giving the answer, but as we don't know about the marginal utility, we should not go for question number 17. Huh? Look at it, 18 is also given good. Can we? Yes, we can give a try here. Giffen good is one whose demand increases, other things remaining constant the same when the price increases. Now, we said that Giffen good is an exception of law of demand. So when its demand is increasing, its price is also increasing, right? So Giffen good, question number 18 is okay. The answer is A. 19. An upward shift of the demand curve for a product is caused by which of the following? An upward shift of the demand curve, okay? The decrease in price of the product, no. Increase in consumer income, yes. Fall in price of the substitute. Fall in price of the substitute. Hobe? See?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, hobe na?
Ma'am, it should be
It will
considered
be none
No,
of
because
the
ma'am.
it's not the
No,
price
ma'am.
of the product.
ma'am, because it will be because of increase in price of the product. The
Yeah.
upward shift. It will be none of the above.
No, why
Ma'am,
not B? Just a
ma'am,
minute. Why not B?
ma'am, increase in consumers' income.
Yes. Don't go with those answers, sir. Don't go with those answers. They are sometimes rubbish. Don't go for it. Just use your own brain. If consumers' income is increasing, there will be an upward shift of the demand curve. Why not? This is a normal product. No specification is given.
Ma'am, if the income will increase, the demand curve will shift rightward rather than shifting upwards. Ma'am,
Oh,
the
upward means rightward.
Ma'am, I think here by upward they mean positively
movement,
slope.
ma'am,
No,
movement along
no,
the demand
upward
curve.
shift. It is not upward sloped. Upward shift. Upward shift means it is shifting to the right, and your income increasing is causing that.
Yes, ma'am. In a way, it is upward.
Yeah,
Rightward is upward.
yes, because downward means it's to the left. Upward
Yes, ma'am.
doesn't
Yes,
mean
ma'am.
you are shifting it to the left. Right? Left means it's downward. If there is law of demand, so it's a B. I think by mistake it's written as D in your answer, but it should be B.
Ma'am, for
Suppose
18 also, ma'am, for 18 also, there is no D, but they have given D as the correct answer.
yes, look. So that is why I'm telling na, don't go for this answer. They are not Amartya Sen. They are not giving answer always correct. So don't go for it. Use your own idea. Use your own knowledge. That will be the best. Suppose a demand function is given as D is equal to, that may be a printing mistake as well. Huh? The writer is correct, but there may be a printing mistake. Suppose the demand function is given as
Ma'am,
D. Yes.
ma'am, why won't C be a reason in 19? Fall in the price of substitutes?
Yes, that is what I was asking.
Because the
Price
price of the product is not changing, the price of a substitute is changing.
of
So
fall, but
the
if the
demand,
demand for no. The fall in price of substitutes, so
oh, okay,
increase in
okay, after
demand of
demand.
substitutes. Huh? That will be a downward
I,
shift. That will be an upward shift.
I understood it now.
So suppose the demand curve is given as D is equal to Janata and supply is also that. Will there be a realistic equilibrium output? So for that you have to find the equilibrium price and quantity. I don't know what will be the price. Just check D is equal to S, put those values and find P. I think P will be negative.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Q will be negative. The output will be negative.
Okay, so
So it
it's
comes in negative. So it
so
is
it's
not
not realistic.
realistic.
Yes, it's not realistic. What is meant by the term equilibrium in economics? All of you know. What are the uses of the equilibrium concepts in economics analysis? That also you know. Distinguish between the stable and unstable equilibrium in the context of perfectly competitive industry. Don't confuse with that perfect competition. Just explain the stable and unstable equilibrium, what you know. Indicate the circumstances under which the market adjustment process fails to ensure a stable equilibrium between demand and supply. Illustrate your answer graphically. So you can draw any of those case 2, case 3 and explain it with the help of Walras, Marshall, whatever, but just mention. Okay, you know the unstable diagram. So draw any of them.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
anyone.
Anyone.
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am, can you explain the Giffen good once again?
Yes, given good is a violation of law of demand. When price is increasing, demand is also increasing. And it's a story of Ireland. I'm not going to tell you that story. Any of your friends, they just volunteer and explain that, huh? The story of that Irish people. Who are going to tell us the story of Giffen Good?
No, I can say.
Yes, explain.
In 1800s, Ireland saw a huge potato famine, where the normal, like staple diet of people of Ireland was potatoes and meat. So, as during that time, um, during the potato famine, people, even though the price of meat was lower than potatoes because potato provided more nourishment, people started lessening their demand for meat and increasing their demand for potatoes, even though the price of potatoes was more.
Yes.
So that economist, I don't remember the name, but he wasn't called Giffen. So he saw
Robert
that.
Giffen.
Yes. So he that's why that's called Giffen good. Like potato in that context became a Giffen
As it is the staple good.
good.
Okay, ma'am.
Just a minute, huh? Just a minute. Yes. হ্যাঁ, কি হয়েছে? বলো। এটা আমি কি করে বলবো? আমি কি অফিস স্টাফ? তুমি কলেজ অফিসে ফোন করো না। কলেজ অফিস খোলা আছে। হ্যাঁ, আমি কি করে বলবো? একদম ওখানে তুমি ফোন করো। হুম। So this is how you are going to give the answer. Question number 23, explain this and show graphically the difference between the stable and unstable. Again, the same story. Specify the condition of stable and unstable equilibrium in a competitive market. Illustrate the condition. What will equilibrium be stable or unstable if demand curve has negatively sloped and supply curve is positively sloped? Why not? Negatively sloped is definitely, it's stable. The first one is always stable. The case 2, change in demand is greater than change in supply. Yes, change in demand is greater than change in supply. That means supply curve is steeper and demand curve is flatter. So in one case it is stable, in another case it is unstable. You can mention it. Will equilibrium be stable or unstable if demand and supply have both negatively sloped? Again, it depends on the approach, and the second part is also depending on the approach. Okay. So here for question number 24, you have to use that Walras and Marshall concept. Distinguish between static and dynamic equilibrium. Don't go for it. It is not in our syllabus. Which of the following statements are correct? An equilibrium is stable if its displacement creates condition for its restoration. An equilibrium is stable if its displacement creates condition for its restoration. Yes, why not? Why not? Yes, this is stable. Equilibrium is stable if it is the same thing. Here also you are getting the same question. A supply curve cannot have negatively sloped. It's false. A demand curve cannot have positively sloped. False. Under static condition, this is not related. The static one is not related.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
ma'am, what is this del D by del P?
Change in demand. Change in demand. Del means change. Del D by del P means change in demand due to change in price. And del S del P means change in supply due to change in price.
Okay, ma'am. So,
In a way, it can be the slope.
Yes, yes. This is actually the slope. So demand curve is the first one. Look at 24 AB, A2. The slope of demand curve is greater than slope of supply curve. Is it a stable? So you know, in one case it is stable, in another case it's unstable. So you have to mention this.
but ma'am, here we should consider one violation or not,
That you have to mention. That you have to mention.
ma'am,
Have a
because
ball.
in
Let's
the
ask a ball.
because in the question there is no mention of violation.
ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ 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 yes what you are talking.
Ma'am, in the question there is no mention of violation. So,
No, if look, if there is no mentioning and this thing is happening, then we are not sure about the answer, na? Because if there is demand curve negative and positive, a supply curve, it is always stable. But regarding that second part, you have to mention that violation. Otherwise, you cannot give the answer.
okay, ma'am. So, here we will give only one case or both the cases.
Anyone.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so this much question I have to share with you. I think I have discussed a lot. Actually, I have discussed a lot of 1 hour with the question answer of demand supply. So in the next class, tomorrow we have next class, and as I said, I will continue that class 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock as today. And there we will start unit 3. Okay, unit 3 is relatively very simple. So just a minute.